opportunity to me to learn more things, and also simultaneously you people also will be benefit with my know what you call training. And moreover, for me it will be more advantage, man. I'm openly telling. So
Yeah, yeah, Ramu.
I'm just doing everything, brushing all the concepts whatever it is present for the inventory and procurement things. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So
And Ramu,
today,
like for
yeah,
procurement, like how many sessions it will take for procurement?
hardly I'm thinking like 2 weeks. 2 weeks
2
we are
weeks.
planning
Okay.
to finish that. Then
Mm-hmm.
oh yeah, 2 weeks. So we'll plan to finish by what you call July, right? So August. So August full month I'm planning. So this month and August full month. So that we'll plan
And
for
Ramu, like
completion
try
of
to
course.
okay, and try to plan the procurement like what you did in your like real time, like
Yes, yes, real.
scenarios.
See, these and all real time only costing if you take. Okay.
Yes, Ramu. Yeah.
And all these things, whatever so far, which I have done in my implementation things, these things only I'm trying to,
Okay.
pointing out more and more times. So
Okay.
these are part of job, Manju.
Okay. Okay, Ramu. Yeah.
These are always part of job. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
So, so to see inventory, we have a lot of things: miscellaneous receipt issues, account alias issues, and then sub inventory transfer. There are plenty of the things are there, but based on certain company requirement. So, if you take my company, we are using miscellaneous issue, receipt, account alias issue, and receipt. So these we have a little bit differences there that will cover any of inventory during inventory like training of inventory module. Then I'll cover more and more transactions how we are going to do. Along with we have a sub inventories, inter organization, intra transfer orders. So all these kind of things will be there. Okay. So as soon as once I touch the module, I'll go through in depth, and we'll try to provide the concepts how it is going to work. Okay. So today
Yeah.
my concentration is, so we'll see if you do the issue. See what is the difference between miscellaneous receipt and issue is, receipt means we are receiving the quantity into the organization. If it is issue means some quantity, whatever, not some, any quantity. We are issuing from the sub inventory, issuing from the inventory, issue to someone else, issue to something, either maybe manufacturing unit or issue to customers or issue to some sub inventories, etc. Issue means always it will move your quantity from one particular sub unit to some other location. That is issue. Receiving means we are receiving into the organization so that our on-hand quantity will increase during receive. Issue on-hand quantity will reduce. Okay. So now today I'll show the costing, and also I'll show this costing we are doing ad hoc basis, right? So what and all transactions, transfer transactions from inventory costing, and create cost accounting distributions, create accounting. These and all what we are doing, we are manually running. But today I'll show how to make it out, what you call automatic way, schedule way. So let us say my company, they are telling we have to run this create cost whatever transfer transactions from inventory costing every day at least 4 times. 4 times means like I mean pre-lunch 2 times, post-lunch 2 times. Okay, so usually this particular scheduling only all practical environment, I mean live projects will be used. They won't do ad hoc manner. Manually, nobody will run these programs most of the time. So today I'll show how to run these particular things in a scheduled manner. Okay. So now I'll take same item which I have taken, I mean which I have we entered in the system. So I will take same item, I'll issue it, and then I will do how to run our programs in a scheduled manner. Okay. So that topic I'll cover. Then we'll go for inventory control methods. Okay. So for issue, so go to supply chain execution. So if you want to do any inventory transactions, we should have a inventory job role. Inventory manager is the job role, and for that inventory, you should have a data access. Data access of security context value is inventory organization. For which inventory organization you are trying to do the transactions, those inventory organization, you should have a data access for your specific user. Okay. So mine is SR01 underscore this one. So go to task list, create miscellaneous transaction. So instead of receiving, we are going to take it as issue. So we'll see account alias, all these things we'll see during our inventory things. Okay. So miscellaneous issue, click on S or no. I'm taking S, click on plus. So select your item. See, available quantity I have in this particular sub inventory is 115. So I can issue till 115 only. Suppose if you want to issue more than 115, so what system will do? System will go to negative. So if we have a checkbox in the inventory level and sub inventory level, I could not see. In the inventory level, we have a checkbox, allow negative balances. When you check the checkbox, what system will do is system will apply the same concept for all the sub inventories, so that the sub inventory will allow to do the negative issue also. Negative means suppose 115 is there. If I give 116, system will allow. Okay. So I'll try to give 116 here. Let us see how the system will behave. What is this? Warning, transaction quantity that is greater than the available. Do you want to continue?
Ramu, like your screen got stuck and we are unable to.
Is it now? Is it same error for all?
No, no. I'm not facing no.
You just know, Manju. I think network issue. Can you rejoin once?
Ramu, your screen got stuck and I am unable to see your screen.
Let me stop sharing. Can you see my screen again? Manju?
Able to see.
Okay.
Yeah, now I'm able to see Ramu.
Okay. So I think from your side some network issue. Okay. So I'm giving 116. So I'm not sure, like, we check the check boxes. So let us see. So I'll give a select the item. Then try to submit the program. I mean, submit the transaction. Oh, maybe allow negative inventories has been checked. That is the reason system has issued more than on hand quantity. Now after that, what we need to do? We need to do the costing. So for the costing, what step we need to run? Go to tools, schedule process. What is the program name?
Transfer transaction from inventory to costing.
Yes. Transfer transactions. So I'll show to you how to do the scheduling way. Okay.
And Ramu, in the miscellaneous issue, just we are pushing the quantity to the sub inventory. That's it, right? Whatever
We
sub
are
inventory we have provided.
Yes, we are pushing out from the sub inventory.
Okay.
So issue will happen during our manufacturing process, or issue will happen mostly manufacturing process, or issue will happen even customer side. So mostly issue will be used. See, miscellaneous issue and receipt most of the time used for adjustment of the quantities based on our whole system. Okay. So this particular issue and receiving we cannot find in the practical environment most of the time. So we'll find other kind of transactions, but issue is most of the time we can observe sometimes or many times in the work order. In the work order means in the manufacturing of process. So if you have a work order, for that work order means like we are manufacturing something, let us say mobile. So for that mobile we need some raw materials. Some raw materials they are storing into sub inventories. So when you issue it, what system will do is system will issue this material from the sub inventory to work order location, so that once it will come the all components to the workbench. So they used to call it as workbench. So once the all the raw materials will be there, then they will start the manufacturing process. So that is the issue. Issue means it will reduce the on-hand quantity from our system. Not only miscellaneous, even we have a account alias issue. They are also same concept. Okay. So now transfer transactions from inventory to costing. If you go to OK, cost organization is SR and C. Can you go to mute, please, Veena? Okay. See now I wanted to show how to do the scheduling. Okay, I don't want to run every time this one for each and every transaction, right? So for that, you go to advanced. So here you have a schedule. So here we have an option called as using a schedule. Now, moment once you select, system will show what are the frequency ranges. You wanted to run only once, hourly, daily, weekly, monthly. There are a lot of things are there. Even if you are not happy with these frequencies, if you want to define your own, you can define user define also. So I'm taking hourly. So every 1 hour, my program has to run, or let us say half an hour. Okay, so I'll keep 0, 30 minutes. So from when to when it has to run, from starting date today onwards to maybe 10 years down the line. So this is the same way we'll do in the practical environment. Remember guys, same kind of
Not
thing we'll do.
so we'll be scheduling for every half an hour, Ramu.
Yes, every half an hour this program will run. This program will pick whatever transactions which are present, which are needed for the costing.
Okay, okay.
Okay, so same kind of strategy will use in the projects, live environment. Okay, so day-to-day works of implementation or support. Okay, and then submit the program. So usually we need to record this particular process ID. So for example, in future, if they want to change the frequency, okay, so what they will do is they will go to that particular what you call process ID. From there, they will try to change the frequency. So this one will be recorded in the BR100s. So I'll tell what is BR100 and all. So this is very, very important to register. Otherwise, suppose for example, you got some issue or customer say, I wanted to change the frequency. If you don't know process ID, it will be too tough, right? So that is the reason when you are doing the scheduling, system will generate the process ID that we have to store into the where BR100s. Okay. So
But
let
Ramu,
me
like
show.
every time this will be a new ID, right? That request ID.
No. Every time it will generate the new ID based on every half an hour, but the initiated ID means
Okay, okay. Uh-huh.
initial ID. This is
So we'll be putting this scheduling on this ID.
yes.
Okay.
So, but every half an hour the IDs will change. But
Okay. Yeah, got
root,
it.
this is the root ID. Okay. Whenever if you want to do modifications on your what you called scheduling
Like,
one, you have to go to this, and then system will show how to do that. I'll show that one. Okay.
okay. Yeah.
So go back here and submitted that, right? Okay. So system will See, now it is showing. See, if you see here 354056, 156 is the root ID, right? For example, let's say I wanted to change that particular frequency. So this is the root ID. You take it. Sorry, not here. Process ID. Click on search. Okay. So here we'll get a edit schedule. Why we are getting edit schedule is because this is the root ID of my transfer transaction from inventory to costing. For other IDs, we never get this edit schedule. Okay, are you getting my point?
Yeah, Ravi, got it. Yeah.
If you want to change frequency from here, so that system will again reboot with your frequencies. Okay. See, automatically system will schedule here till last date of your end date of your schedule program. So we given till 28. So system will generate the frequencies. So it will automatically generate. We don't need to think. But here if you see every half an hour, see 12, 18, 11:48, 11:18. So in middle we have a half an hour gap. So every half an hour this program will run and it will give the results. Okay. So this is the way we used to schedule the jobs. So let us see the things has been run or not. At least one thing has to finish. One second, I'm connecting charger. Okay. So it will take time. See, if we see for parent process ID, we never find any scheduled time here because this is the parent one. Okay. Now 348. This is 348. So let me see. It has to run, but it will take time every half an hour, right? So suppose for example, for your transaction, if you want to run in a schedule in a what you call ad hoc manner, so go to schedule process, open this. For example, I wanted to make ad hoc manner. Okay. So because I don't want to waste my time till half an hour, so that also you can do it. SR01, just submit the program. So this is my ad hoc basis. Okay. So now it is running. System will pick mine. But these things every half an hour, whatever transactions are the system will pull and it will do the operation from inventory to costing. Okay, it is succeeded. Now go to inventory schedule of what is that? So, supply chain execution. Sorry. So here go to cost accounting. Go to create accounting, cost account distribution. So here also this particular thing is the schedule one. Okay. So how they used to do is this cutoff date is there, right? Every month end they will keep. Okay. Every month end they will keep the cutoff date. So for example, let us say July, right? So till July 31st, it will keep and it will run this particular schedule program. So same thing. Just if we click on this, go to advanced, Go to using a schedule. Frequency, hourly or daily. Okay, daily, whichever. Let us say daily. So daily, days between run, 1 day or two. Daily, how many times? Whether 2 times or 1 time. Okay, so what is the end date? Till which date this program has to run in our system? Let us say 10 years down the line, 20 years down the line, like that. We can schedule the program. Okay, so so you understand, right, how to schedule the programs of ESS jobs. If you have any doubt, let me know. Hello.
No, Ram, I'm okay with that. That's clear.
Okay. Veena, I think for you it will be somewhat tough because you joined very recently, right? So at least you are getting some idea how to do ad hoc scheduling and ad hoc scheduling and manual scheduling. Sorry, scheduling and ad hoc basis. Ramana, I think he joined just now.
And Ramu, like if we schedule for every half an hour,
Hmm.
if there were transactions, it will run. If not, it will.
Just
How it will be?
it will run. That's all. It will
So
succeed
if
at it. That's all. If
okay,
a
okay,
for
if the transactions were there, it will push. If it's not, it will not push. That's it, right?
yes, it will not push. It will complete, and it will whatever transactions are pending. It will go to second schedule, second frequency. For example, let's say 11 to 11:30, you have not entered any transaction. 11:31 you entered. So what system will do is this 31 means 11:30 to 12 o'clock in this period, system will take that particular transaction and will run. If it is not
Okay,
there, just it will succeed. That's all. Within
okay,
time it
okay.
will come out, but again it
Mm-hmm.
will wait for half an hour. Whatever transactions are there, it will execute and it will come out. It will execute and it will come out like that.
So and then like in the practical environment, we'll be scheduling it for every half an hour, right?
Every half an hour, every 5 minutes.
Like depends.
Depends.
Okay,
Depends.
okay,
It is not like fixed.
okay, Ram.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now I'm scheduling manually here. So just submitting ad hoc. What happened? End date is 7:31. Fine. Submit. End date cannot be equal to start date. Okay. We define something here. As soon as possible. Click on submit. Save and close. So go to setup tools. Just verify whether program has been completed or not. Tools, schedule process. So it is running now. See, this is waiting. Why? Till half an hour it won't give any result. Manju.
Yeah, Ramu. Yeah.
Yeah. Till 11:38 only. After that only it will throw the results.
Okay, okay.
What happened? Yeah, this minimum internet is required for IT people. This lady, I don't know. Can't help them.
Like she's already working, Ramu. Like,
Yeah, she told she is working.
okay, okay.
but she is not in the what you call cloud. She is in different stream. She wanted to move to cloud.
Okay.
Everyone is like that only nowadays because see, cloud came hardly from 4 years onwards, 4 to 5 years max.
Yeah, yeah, Ramu.
Okay, so people will be like, some people will wake up early, some people wake up now. So little
Hmm.
difference will be there. Okay, it is succeeded. So this is warning, is just ignore because this warning I verified yesterday. It is not at all relevant to our concern. Okay, so now go and review our distributions. So review and distribution, then that's enough. And GL and all anyhow we see, right? So we don't need to waste our time here. So go to cost accounting and review cost. Sorry, where is it? Review cost accounting distributions. And my item is okay. So if you see here, this is the issue. Okay, but always here, if you see the transaction, negative means it is issuing, it is reducing the on hand quantities. Getting my point?
Yeah, yeah, Ramu. I think the second one, right, from miscellaneous issue.
Uh, what about this one?
16th.
No, today 16th only, right?
Yes, Ramu.
See, total is I have 115 on hand quantity, but system has sent 116. So one quantity extra. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
So that is the thing. That is what it is taking as the issue here. But the major what we need to observe, what we need to think is whenever if we're doing the system issuing, the quantities will come as a negative. But
Okay.
this one I don't know. It is confusing for us. Receipt and issue. See, if we go to one more transaction which I did earlier, see here it is also receipt. So it is not showing source as a what do you called source
Issue.
means, yeah, source means this particular quantities came from which source, that is a source. See, for this item, how we added the on hand quantity, where we added using receipt, correct? that
Yeah, yeah.
that that particular thing will be showing as a source here. Okay, but when you do the issuing, so quantity is the major one. We need to see quantities are in the negative. Okay, and if you see my transaction, same thing, but this will be like issue. Why means because there is no quantity is there, system has issued by, because the inventory in the inventory what you call organization, we selected allow negative balances. So that is the reason system allowed more than on hand quantity. Okay, and if you see the costing distributions, then offset and inventory valuation. So this will be, one is debit, one is credit. Okay, and these things we have seen yesterday. And general entries, if you want to see, we need to run what? Create accounting and post the lecture.
Oh,
So these are the standard what you called operations or steps will be common for all the sources. Okay, so in future, when you do the purchasing, how costing will happen, when you do something receiving, RMA, all those things we'll see some of the things. Okay, but steps will
okay.
be common for all the areas. Now, even if we see the cost also, for example, if you wanted to check the cost, you have one more area, I mean transaction screen. Where is it? Review item cost. So from this, you can find out what is the average cost of your item. If you apply costing type as average, then system will show what is the average cost of your item. For example, let us say I want to check this one. So on or before, on or before. Okay, 716. Okay, fine. So equals search. See total unit value is 12. Cost changes is 0. So currently, what is the cost of this particular good? It is a 12. But we given a lot of other things are also, right? Something somewhere 10, 12. There are a lot of things we given when doing our transaction issue and receipt. So what you people will do is you just give some item cost first time. Let us say 2 times we give while doing the miscellaneous receipt. Give 10, something like a 10 or whatever. Just I'm giving example 10, 12. The next time don't give anything. Just select as a what you call use item cash, use item cost as S or whatever. Even if you do even no also, just give something like 10, 12, 13. So come here, and what is the average cost of the item? That is nothing but total unit cost, because I selected cost element type. Costing type is average. So average formula is quantity into price plus quantity to price plus quantity to price by total quantity. Okay, that way system will provide what is the final cost of your item when you have multiple transactions are present. Okay, so this is the review item cost. From this we can verify what is the cost of your items which are present in the system. Okay, so that's all here, and there are a lot of things are there, and we'll see in during our course. And review and approve item cost profile, work order cost, maintenance. There are a lot more are there, but this is will be helpful for to see your item cost. And also cost adjustment is there. This one we'll see bit later. And for standard cost, these are the things. Compare standard cost. There are a lot of things are there, man. We'll see some of things during our classes. Okay, so costing will keep bit aside. We'll move to inventory things, and then Monday onwards we'll go for procurement one.
Okay.
Okay. So now today, what are the inventory control methods we have? So one is lot control, serial control, serial control. So third one is packing unit, but this one the functionality is not there. But as a control method, we have a packing unit is the one of the kind of control method, and revision control, and these are the various control methods we can observe in the control inventory control methods. But most of the time, industries will use lot serial. So these are the maximum wherever the cost of the material, if you want to calculate, or price of the material if you want to calculate per item, wherever per item we have, then they will go for serial control methods. Okay, lot control means it is the more than one item. Always the lot contains either one or either 2, 3 or 10, doesn't matter, but more than one quantity will be present in the lot. But lot control methods we can see in the medical, food industries, and fruit industries, and Coca-Cola things, and wherever whatever we have juices, right? So all these areas they will use lot control methods. But serial control, we can see electronic industries, and wherever gold industries, gold also they will use a serial. They want to calculate, they want to put the stock, or they wanted to know what is the cost of each item, because item wise it will have high prices. So wherever high prices are there, then they will go for serial control. But wherever it is like a more than one, it is a combination of more than one component, they will go for lot control. Okay, but some companies, let us say in my company, we are not using lot control, serial control. We are just no control methods. Okay, so even that that kind of scenarios also we can observe in the practical environment. Okay, so packing unit is combination of bulk, pack of 50, pack of 100. It will be like when you want to ship it, they won't ship one or two quantities, they will ship as a pack. So when you, even for ordering also, we need to pack suppose chocolates, some wholesale, if you go, if you want to ask one chocolate, they won't give. So they will say you buy it pack of, I mean packet, one packet, right? So that way the packing unit is one of the control method. And revision control, it is just, it is like, you know, for example, let us say mobiles. Mobiles, every time revisions are changing, versions are changing. So versions we used to call it as revision. So today version A, tomorrow version B, something like they added something megapixel rate, something else, right? So but they don't want to change the design, they want to use the design as it is, but they need to add one feature. Because of that feature, they change the version from A to B or B to C, whatever. But in our Oracle terminology, we call it as revisions. So whenever if you are receiving the material, if you want to receive the advanced version of laptop or mobile, then you have to select what is the revision. Then you have to receive the material into inventory or ship the material to the customer. So these are the four kind of variations you can find in the inventory control methods. So in the lot control, in the especially Oracle Cloud, but in Oracle EBS, we don't have any parent and child combination lot controls. But the cloud, they have brought parent and child combination controls. If you want to use parent and child combination, you can use very well. Or else if you don't want to use, we want to use only parent, only single lot, that also system will allow to configure in the application. So when they go for parent and lot, sorry, parent and child combination is, for example, uh, let's say medical. Okay, so we have a headache tablet. Okay, headache tablets. So for this one, they may use brands. There are a lot of brand are there, right? Pros. Tell me some brands, man. Headache tablets. Anasin,
Dolo, anything.
uh, Dolo,
Saturday.
Saradan, sir. Correct. Dolo, Saradan. Okay. So these are the three brands. Fine. So this is the parent. I mean, headache tablet is the parent lot. They wanted to consider like that. So always this they are going to use the parent lot will be fixed. So let us say it is 1000. But child lots will always vary based on the brand. So why they are going to use this one means, so they wanted, they can do the what you called business variation, business things are also will be easy. And second thing is, for especially medical, they have the maturity dates, and they have hold dates, they have shelf life days. Okay, means this many days only we can use this particular tablet, after that it will expire, right? So to maintain that particular logic in a easiest manner, so and also to group the things, to group the brands for specific application or specific diseases. So that is the reason they're going always parent and child. If you see some tablets and the boxes, we'll see, always we'll see some lot numbers. Did you observe or not? But I observed. We'll see some lot number, and then hyphen some one more number. So wherever hyphen is there, that will be a parent and child combinations. Okay. So using parent and child combination, they can very well maintain shelf life days and maturity days. So for example, today they have manufactured a headache tablet. So we cannot consume it. They will tell, boss, this will mature certain days, maybe 1 or 2 days. After that only you have to utilize. So like that, there are a lot of calculations for terms and conditions, permutation combinations will be there. So for that, they will go for parent and child combination. If they don't want to maintain anything, parent child they don't require, then they will go for single lot generation. Single lot generation. It means that only one lot will be generated by the system when you are creating the any transactions. Okay, that is the lot control. Serial control means each what you called each unit wise system will generate, either system will generate or user defined or predefined, dynamically entered. There are four combinations are there. One is predefined means we already generated serial numbers. That serial numbers we are going to use while doing the transaction. That is predefined. Dynamically entered. Dynamically means moment once you do the transaction, once you want to do the transactions, we are entering our own prefix or whatever serial number if you want, you can give. That is dynamically control. And also we have a user defined dynamically control, more or less same, but I'll give you the difference what is exactly. And one more is no control. No control means that particular item does not have any serial control. These are the four combinations you can see: predefined, dynamically controlled, user defined, and no control. Okay, so those things we'll see when you do the transactions for serial. Now we'll see how to do the transactions if the item is lot control. Okay, so we'll go to system. Sorry. First we'll go to inventory organization. So control method will apply where? Okay, what and all control methods can be allowed by the cloud. So for that, you go to search, manage inventory organizations. So open your SR 0. Thank you, sir. Search SR01 inventory 1. Okay, click on search. So go to edit parameters, click on next, lot serial and packing. Okay, so here lot control I'm trying to simulate now. So uniqueness, no uniqueness, we have a two options: unique across items, no uniqueness. So no uniqueness means you can fix your prefix, suffix, whatever you want. Okay, but uniqueness across the item means across the items of your across item means whatever items which you are associated for this particular inventory, we have to maintain uniqueness, means difference, unique values. Okay, that is the thing. So now I'm taking unique across the items and generation where we need to generate the lot. So we have three combinations here: item, organization level, user defined. Okay, so I'll show item level. You people try for organization. So whatever item level which I am showing to you further, so same steps you have to follow for organization, but try to simulate and let me know the responses. So how the system will behave when you select the generation at organization level. User defined means just you enter whatever prefix and suffix dynamically, whatever it will come in your mind, we have to give that combination into the lot. But most of the time they don't go. Medical industry they don't go, food industries also they don't go, but I don't know why they have given user defined, but they will go organization level or item level. Okay, these two will be widely used in the food industries and medical. Okay, now I'm going item level. So that is the my setup here, unique across items, item level. Save.
Rama, unique across item means like for each item there will be a different lot number, right?
Yes.
Okay. At the inventory level.
For this inventory level.
Inventory. Okay. Okay.
Save and close. Go to product information management. Product PIM. So I'll copy this one. Copy it. So I'll show how to copy the material, I mean item, how to create the through copy. Sorry, not manage, create only, create the item, take organization, mine is SR underscore. Okay, so not my root item, this is also SR. Electronic. Okay, so no, so how to copy is create from copy button is the right, select this. So system will ask what is the item, from which item you wanted to go copy. Okay, SR03 I wanted to copy. How many you want to copy? You want to copy 1, 2, you can give that many numbers here. Okay, so copy attributes and then apply whatever it is, just copy and then apply the templates, whatever templates which you have selected. Click on OK. Now I'm keeping this lot control. Okay, lot control. So remaining is as it is. I don't want to change anything. So go to associations, click on plus, provide SR IN, I guess, right? SR, give SR enough. SR01. Okay, apply and done. Apply and done. Okay, and we need to specify the lot control, right? See here, there are two things we have to understand here. So whenever if you apply your lot control for what is this organization, just save it. See here, this is the master control, correct? Master organization, and we have a child organization is SR. So whenever if you apply your lot control for master organization, whatever child organization which are present under the associations, for all of them, system will automatically apply this lot control method. Okay, so that is the, if we apply for master, suppose we don't want to make for all the child organizations as the lot control, then what you need to do, you go for child organization level, there you can make your lot control method. Okay, these are the two variations we have. When you apply for master, so you don't need to apply explicitly for childs, system automatically take care for all the childs. Suppose we have a some 4 organizations A, B, C, D. I want to apply this particular lot control only for C organization. Just go there and do the lot control. Okay, now I am applying for master. See here, this is the lot. You have to select full lot control. So you can give the prefix. This is optional. If you want, you can give, doesn't matter. But I am giving the prefix here. So prefix is same. We'll use our universal one. Okay, SR01, and starting is something. So maturity days I told, right? Some food industry will take, that item required some days to mature. Let us say we'll take fruits. So after ripe only we are going to have it, right? So that is the maturity days, hold days. How many days we need to hold? Shelf life days will be used mostly for food industries, medical. Means once shelf life days will cross, then that particular item will be expired, right? Shelf life nothing but expired dates. Okay, so when you want to take any action, you can select it. So once, for example, let us say I given 120 days. After that, this particular item will be expired. So do you want to take any action? You can select the action here. No action, expired, or whatever. Okay. So when you take action, so as per the action, system won't allow to do any transactions. I mean, system will give that expiry action, right? So that will come to know this particular item has been expired.
And Ramu, like what happened to that expired inventory, like a quantity? It will be going to scrap, or how
You,
it will?
it usually in the medical industry will be going to scrap. That is what they will always, do. They will always plan it, whichever will expire for, I mean, within less time, they will push back to the customers, right? So once it is expired, especially medical items, we never use. So it will be scrap, completely scrap. Even food industries also they won't use. So that is the expire. If it is severe problem for human being, then they will scrap it. If it is not a severe problem, what they will do? They will do some redo of some manufacturing or something they will do. Again, they will publish to the customers.
And what about that the quantity that exists?
It will be, that's all. No use.
Okay.
Expire means expire. That's all. Scrap. That is what inventory is the very, planned very properly. Otherwise, the cost is the big impact, right? So industries will go to loss like anything. Okay, so especially medical and food industry, they will minutely, they will plan it each and everything in a micro manner. Otherwise, these kind of things, once the scrap means gone, their profits, everything will go to loss. And one fine day they will raise their hands. We cannot do the business. Okay. So now I'm giving only single lot, full lot control, starting prefix and starting number. These and all I'm not taking now. If you want, you can take it. Okay. So next thing we'll see how to make it a parent and child combination. Okay. And remaining and all optional for us. So just these are two enough. So these no need now. So just save.
Here the maturity days and staff life,
Shelf life.
shelf life days, both are same mostly.
No, shelf life is the expiry. Maturity means like till, see, some items will take some days to mature. After mature only we are going to consume it. Let us say fruits.
Okay.
Okay. So mature and whole both are similar, but there will be some key difference. So maturity, like once it will be ripe, then only we're going to use it. Something like that. Okay. Save the form. And just cross verify whether my particular inventory control method has been applied to my child or not. Okay. Go to specifications. Inventory. See. Because this is we created at the master level. That is the reason we can see all those things will be applied automatically to the child. So
So
second
now whatever the inventory tax that belongs to this master will be applied, right, Rama?
automatically will apply.
If we want to change to the chainless, we can change.
No, that is the reason I was telling, right? So master arc, if you apply, you cannot change under child arcs. So if you want to apply only for child arc, you can apply it. Suppose let us say we have a 3 arcs. So I want to apply only for A and C. I don't want to apply B. You can do very well child arcs. Child arc level, you can configure your lot control.
Okay.
So now we'll quickly do either issue or receipt. We'll do the receipt. So we'll verify whether system will ask the lot control or not. Okay. What is that item, man? I forget.
Something lot item SR01 something.
Sir,
Lot control.
01 purchase lot item.
Okay. So go to supply chain. Inventory. Create miscellaneous receipt. No. Counting combination. Search. Select. Click on place. Provide your item. Sub inventory. So I will use the locator control. Okay. So search. Click on OK. See, whenever your item is lot control, then this button will enable. Okay. So now when I give something like 200, so you go here, view, show all. Okay. So now lot is blank. So how to generate? Click on generate lot. What is the lot came? So this is a prefix we given, right? SR01 and 2300. Now, for example, let's say you must provide a value for quantity. Oh, we are not given a quantity. Okay. So for example, let's say I want to do same transaction cost. Go and enter the cost. $34 something. Okay. So let's say I want to enter same transaction, one more line. So what system will do? System will increment this lot. Okay. So I'll show to you. Sub inventory. I'll make storage. So it is not required any lot control. Sorry, locator control. So I'm giving 300. Generate the lot. See here, incremented by 1. Okay. So this is the way you can utilize the single lot creation. Okay. So whenever your items are lot control, definitely without this lot control, system won't allow to save the form. Got it? So I'll enter the, okay, already is there. So just submit the form. What happened? Must provide quantity. Quantity gone again. Oh, how come? 230. So these are all not required. These will come during our procurement time. Requester will do all those things. Okay, now submit it. Yeah. This is price, cost. Okay, submit. Okay, so this is the way lot control. I mean single lot control. We'll see quickly parent and child combination. Then we'll wind up. Okay, go to product management again. Product management. Product information management. Create item. So organization is SR underscore. So we'll take copy only. We could have done to that time itself. Okay. So same thing. Okay, click on OK. So parent and child. Parent, child. Okay, so just save the form. So go to specifications, associate your item SR01 plan done. Save it. Go to specifications, inventory item, everything is fine. So here full lot. This is we'll use SR only. So starting number 3400, and here child lot is there, right? This has to be as format copy. Now this child lot generation, we have to select parent and child. Okay, so I'll keep child here. Some 2300. Okay, 2305 not 200. Okay, and lot translate enable. These and all just wherever if you want to split the lot. For example, let us say we have 1,000 item. So for 1,000, so I need to split quantities. Quantity split. Once you do the split of the quantity, so I wanted to create the lot. So if you have such a combination, then select split as enable as division. This also, while I don't know what is the divisible, but mostly this will be used during our order management. Substitution. When you have any substituted item for this particular item, then if you want to do same kind of concept, you go for lot substitution enabled as. And merging. Somewhere you want to merge the lots. So when you have that combination, you can select as merge as enabled as. Okay. So this is the main important is you have to full lot control. If you want, you can give the prefix suffix, that does not matter. But mostly child lot generation has to be parent and child combination. Okay. Now save. Save and close. Go to quickly here, inventory, create miscellaneous transaction, miscellaneous receipt, So no plus. Okay. Sub inventory will take storage. So quantity, let me take some 1000. Okay. So now how to enter parent and child combination? So we need to select the record lot and serial number generation. This button, open it. Okay, click on place. So parent you have to generate first. How to generate? Open this, generate the parent lot. So first system will generate the parent lot, then system will generate the what you call child lot. So how to generate here? Again here. No, select this one, generate the single lot. So how system has generated here combination parent and child combination. If you see here, go here. See, it is the parent and then it is the child. So this is the way what I shown, right? Example, that same kind of way they will generate the child and parent combination, parent and child combination. Okay, so now quantity is 100. So I don't want to, you know, I don't want to keep that lot, same lot for a complete quantity. So I want to split it. So since I have enabled the split as yes, so system will allow me. So again click on place. So parent will be same now. Attribute lot number inventory pending. Okay, this is fine because it is asking to enter. So this is parent will be same. Wait here. Okay, but child lot has to change for me. So what you need to do? Select this, generate single lot. So if you see here, go to here. No, not copied that one. Copy, paste. See, child lot is incremented. Okay, so that way they will maintain parent and child lot combinations. Okay, so like that, if you want to split, you can split your quantities. So since I have 1000, I can split into 2. Click on OK. And then account number we need to provide. And mostly if they want to maintain uniqueness across all items, always the best Oracle suggested is go for organization level. Because if you go for organization level, we have a control of prefix, because all the prefix, suffix, everything we are keeping in the organization level. So that maintenance will be very easy, and there is no confuse. But if you select what you call uniqueness at item generation at item level, then prefix sometimes, I'll give here SR01 for this item. So let us say for other item I given GR01. So there could be some lot of confusion is there. But whenever you have a concept, you have a scenario called as what you call uniqueness across the items, always best one is go for organization level. Okay. Yeah. Cost. Enter. So if we see this costing and all tomorrow, anyway our program has been running, system will always capture everything and will show in the costing management. Submit. Okay, so this is the parent and child level lot control creation. Any doubt? Lot, single lot, parent and child. So tomorrow we'll see serial controls. Serial control packing unit, it is not there, but I'll try. Packing unit, I don't know why it is not there. Okay. So any questions, guys?
If we sell the items in a lot control wise,
Mm.
in order
Yeah.
management,
Okay.
mm, maybe UOMs are different.
Why? UIMs will be why it will be different. And understand your question. So we're asking like when you are selling the item from the order management, either
Yes.
if it is the lot control system will ask the lot. Is it your question?
Yes.
Yes, it will ask. Without lot, it won't do the shipping.
Okay.
Okay. That system will automatically take care. Once you may, because the item will be common across all the modules, right? So whenever your
Yes.
item is lot control or serial control, definitely system will stop if you don't have a what you call lot number or serial number during your transactions.
Okay.
Okay. See this
Ram, like
product.
Ram, like whatever the quantity we put right. So for the whole quantity, it will create a lot. That's it,
Single
right?
lot. Yes, single lot.
Single lot.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. But serial means always the quantity is one.
So for each quantity, there will be a serial number.
Serial number. Yes.
So okay. So an item can be like a lot and serial control.
Never. No. Mostly no.
Okay.
Mostly no. But some maybe R&D companies if they want to use, but they won't know, man. We can never see. Lot and serial never will make it out for one item. By the concept itself, it will be going wrong. We'll commit with lot of errors. Serial especially, they need to track the quantities, they need to track the prices, they need to track the warranties. Let us say laptop you purchase, right? So they will give the serial number. With the serial number, they will track everything. When you
Okay.
purchase, what is the item, what is the expiry of your warranty, all these things they will track. So to track for per unit wise, they will go for serial. So you never see in the practical environment, item will be lot and serial. No.
Okay.
Okay. So anything else?
No, nothing.
Okay then. Good night. Huh? I'll put it in the Google Drive. And Veena, I'll give this particular instance. I'll create the user and give to you. Okay.
Okay.
Okay then. Bye bye. Good night.
Okay, bye.
Tomorrow you have session, Ramu. On the final question.
No. Monday will take.
Okay, fine. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.